Working as a sports nutritionist, there's a common request I get from clients. They want to lose weight for whatever reason. Usually, it's to tone up in some form, get rid of some excess body fat. Alongside that, they want to build muscle to look more defined. In their mind, the two usually come together, losing weight and building muscle. And fair enough, it's a good goal, and if they can manage that, then that would be brilliant. My answer to them, though, isn't necessarily what you might think, but it sets them up for long-term success. We'll dig into that in this episode and talk through the strategies for you to use so that if weight loss and muscle building are your goal, you know how to do it and what you should avoid. Hey, and welcome to Vegetarian Health and Longevity, a podcast by Hurry the Food Up, where I cover topics that help vegetarians live longer in better health. I'm your host, James LeBague. I'm a registered sport and exercise nutritionist and advanced clinical practitioner in family medicine. It's my pleasure to interview expert guests, share my own experiences from working with patients and clients, and demystify some of the nutrition fluff that's out there to give you practical, take-home information that you can use to live a healthier life. When people talk about losing weight, they normally mean losing fat mass. This is an important distinction because it is possible to lose weight without losing fat, and we'll discuss this more later in the episode. As a quick heads up, losing weight but not losing fat is something that you want to avoid, and there are ways to do this. But losing fat mass is usually the goal, whether it's from a specific area like someone's belly or trying to tone up arms or legs. This is what people refer to when they say they want to lose weight. I've helped a heck of a lot of people to do this now, and there are tried and tested methods for it. What I usually hear alongside this, though, is that they want to build muscle as well, and this can be a bit of an issue. You see, the two are at different ends of the spectrum in terms of calorie amounts and the processes going on in your body. In order to lose fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit, and there's no way around this. You need your body to burn excess fatty tissue, and this is only through consuming less calories than your body needs. And you need to do this day in, day out for an extended period of time, usually for a couple of weeks or months depending on your goal. And it's very common that during weight loss periods, even when you follow gold standard principles, you will lose some muscle too. But when you want to build muscle, the process is slightly different. Ideally, you want to be at a calorie balance, meaning you're consuming as many calories as your body is burning or in a slight calorie surplus. The reason is that you're trying to create and build new, stronger muscle tissue, and you need to give your body the tools to do this. In this case, it's calories. In very simple terms, this is the problem people face. They want two outcomes that are almost polar opposites. One is a creation process, and one is a breakdown process. Now, you might be listening to this and thinking, but I've heard that people have done both in the past. Isn't it possible? It is technically possible, but it's really difficult. And I'm telling you this because I think honesty is the best policy. You can lose fat and build muscle at the same time, but it's hard to do. And not many people are disciplined enough or follow the best principles to achieve it. Before we get into one of the main plays in this, which is resistance training, we need to talk about protein. If your goal is to lose fat and build, or at least retain muscle, a high protein diet is non-negotiable. Here's why. When you're in a calorie deficit, your body doesn't just pull energy from fat stores. Your body needs protein to carry out its daily functions, and if you aren't getting enough protein from your diet, then your body goes to the next most readily available source, your muscles. It can start to break them down to release protein, and this is clearly what you want to avoid. And protein is the most important dietary nutrient for maintaining muscle mass during weight loss. Eating enough protein ensures your body has the raw materials it needs to maintain its function and support the muscle you already have. And the research is clear on this. A protein intake of 1.6 to 2.2 grams per kilogram of body weight per day has been shown to preserve muscle mass while in a calorie deficit. If you weigh 70 kilos, for example, that means aiming for 112 to 150 grams of protein per day. Another benefit of protein is that it's satiating. Protein-rich meals help you feel fuller for longer, which is a huge advantage when you're eating fewer calories. If you're a vegetarian or just trying to incorporate more plant-based meals into your diet, it's absolutely possible to hit your protein goals. Some excellent high-protein vegetarian options include lentils. They're packed with protein and fiber, and they're great in soups, stews, or as a base for curries. Chickpeas. Whether it's hummus, roasted snacks, or in a salad, they're versatile and high in protein. Tofu and tempeh. These soy-based products are fantastic protein sources and can be used in so many different meals. Quinoa. A complete protein, quinoa is a perfect grain to use on its own as a main or in salads. Low-fat Greek yogurt. This is a great high-protein option for breakfasts or snacks. Low-fat cottage cheese. Just like Greek yogurt, it's high in protein, low in calories, and it's great as a snack or can be used as part of a main meal. One of my favourite recipes is our healthy mac and cheese, and you can find this on hurrythefoodup.com. It's super tasty, easy to make, and packs a great protein punch. And if you are looking to lose weight following a high protein diet, then you can try out a 3-week meal plan as part of the Vegetarian Protein Fix. You can find this at hurrythefoodup.com/try, that's TRY. This meal plan comes with a shopping list, recipes with step-by-step instructions, and it's all easy to follow. So all you have to do is cook. So check it out at hurrythefoodup.com/try, that's TRY, and get started today. The second key to achieving both goals simultaneously, and I can't stress this one enough, is resistance training or strength training. To retain muscle during weight loss or build it while aiming to shred fat, you need to put your muscles under stress. This is the stimulus your body requires to either preserve existing muscle or encourage the creation of new tissue. The general guidance is to perform resistance training at least 3 times per week. And this is because your body adapts to the signals that you send it. A high protein diet on its own isn't enough. If you're not lifting weights or doing exercise against resistance, your body doesn't have a reason to hold on or create new muscle tissue. And keep in mind that not all exercise qualifies as resistance training. Walking, swimming, or even high-intensity circuit training are great for cardiovascular health, but they don't really apply the same kind of tension that your muscles need for growth or preservation. Focus on compound movements like squats, deadlifts, push-up, or rows, exercises that challenge multiple muscle groups at once. You can actually hear more about this in episode 3 of this podcast, and it's about why resistance training is so amazing and why it's so important as we get older. If you're new to strength training, I've got some good news for you. You're in a prime position to make rapid progress. When you first start strength training, your body adapts quickly because the stimulus is entirely new. This is often what's referred to as newbie gains. Your muscles respond by growing faster, so to speak, even if you're in a slight calorie deficit, which is why beginners are often the ones who can achieve the elusive goal of losing fat and gaining muscle simultaneously. Over time, these gains naturally slow down as your body becomes more efficient at managing the stress from training. But if you're just starting out, this initial phase is where you can see some remarkable changes if you follow the principles we're discussing. Another critical element to consider is consistency. Too many people get hung up on trying to do everything perfectly, tracking every single calorie, hitting exact protein targets, or meticulously logging workouts. While these things can help, the reality is that consistently following a plan, even imperfectly, is far more effective than being perfect for a week and giving up the next. So focus on doing the basics well. Eat a high protein diet, train with resistance multiple times per week, stay in a moderate calorie deficit. When you get those things right most of the time, you'll see results. So while losing weight while building muscle is possible, it requires careful planning, discipline, and you probably need to be a beginner. Start with the basics. Consume enough protein to protect your muscle. Perform resistance training at least 3 times a week, and focus on consistency over perfection. If you are just starting out with strength training, you're in an ideal position to see progress. Make the most of that beginner phase, but don't forget that it's your long-term habits that matter the most. Otherwise, my suggestion is to focus on just one of those 2 things, either building muscle or losing body fat. It's like the old proverb. There's a proverb or saying that's something like, if you try to catch 2 rabbits, you'll catch neither. And that's the advice that I would follow. Work on one of those things, and then when you get to a happy point with it, for example, you've built enough muscle and made progress in the gym, start trying to lose body fat at that point, and don't try to think that you're going to be able to push more weights in the gym and focus on building or growing muscle at that point. So hopefully this gives you some information and insight into whether you can build muscle and lose body fat at the same time. If you did find this episode useful, then please do give the podcast a quick review on whatever platform you're listening on. It only takes a moment, but it really helps the podcast to spread to more like-minded people like you. So enjoy your training, and we'll speak soon.